Hi everyone, so today just for fun I thought that I would do the Tarot First, Last and Always tag. I thought that this would be a really good tag for me to do, seeing as I am so bad at doing tags. I tend to forget questions and skip over things and forget where I'm up to, and it's just bad. So this one's really simple. It's just simply the first tarot deck that you ever owned and then the last or most recent tarot deck that you have acquired. And then your always deck, which is the deck that you love, that you would never want to part with, and that you tend to reach for readings. So I'll just get straight into it. The first tarot deck that I ever owned was this one, and it is officially called the Mystic Tarot. However, it is also known as the Mystic Meg Tarot because it was created by a psychic named Mystic Meg, and there's a picture of her on the guidebook there. And the artist who created this deck was Carolyn Smith. So I got this deck when I was 13. My mum bought it for me. And there's things that I like and things that I don't like about it. Your court cards are absolutely beautiful. Your major arcana is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, there's the Hermit with this beautiful ancient Egyptian kind of influence happening there. And they are just lush and gorgeous, and some of the names of the major arcana have been changed, like your typical ones like your devil and death and that kind of thing. However, as you can see, the pips are just the worst kind of non-pictorial boringness. They're just the worst kind of non-pictorial pips that you'll ever see. And that's really the only thing that I don't like about this deck, because if you can look past that, it is a really beautiful deck. There's the Justice card. It's just stunning. Queen of Fire there is beautiful. So yeah, my mum bought me this deck when I was 13, and this isn't the original copy that I owned. I actually don't know what happened to that copy. There's the Sun card. How beautiful is that? But yeah, years later when I got serious about starting to collect tarot decks, I decided that I wanted this one in my collection. And it is now out of print, so I had to purchase it. And it's one of the only out of print decks that I own, the other one being the Mythic Tarot, the original Mythic Tarot that I was gifted by Katie Flowers. And I know a lot of people who got into tarot at around the same time as me, at the same age, started with the Mythic Tarot. And I'm a little bit jealous of those people. I actually think you've kind of got more cred if you started out with the Mythic Tarot rather than the Mystic Tarot. So, but you know, it is what it is. It was my first deck, and you might laugh, but I've got a definite soft spot for this deck. And yeah, enough so that I went back and bought it after all those years when it was out of print and everything. So yeah, that was my first deck. And my latest deck is the latest edition of the Starchild Tarot Akashic. So she brought out, Danielle, Noel, the creator, brought out a new traditional sized version of the deck. And it comes in a different box. That's the backing of the box. I really like how it's got kind of this, I don't know what you'd call it, like a paint swirl look about it. And it's just beautiful. It's got the same gorgeous cardstock, the same beautiful gilded edges. I don't know, I just wanted to get, I love this deck so much that I wanted to get a second copy, and because it's the same but not the same, I could justify it. But I'm just not as in love with this version of the deck yet as I am with the other one. So we shall see how I go. And I can't even fully explain what it is that I love so much about this deck. I just love the readings that I get with it. I love the colours in the deck. I love the artwork with the beautiful poses that the models are in. I don't know, it's just something about how they're posing when she photographs them, and all the symbolism, and it just appeals to, I guess, my kind of new agey starseed cosmic consciousness kind of side. And I don't know, I just love it, and I love the readings that I get from it. So that is the latest edition of the Starchild Tarot Akashic, smaller sized. I don't know what it's officially called, like traditional sized, or yeah, something like that. But yeah, and I do also love how she has made the guidebook larger and expanded it slightly. Like, I've had a look, and most of the card meanings are the same. That's the beautiful postcard that I got with it. And I just love these Isis wings. Like, I can't get enough of this just plain white image of Isis with her wings. I can't get enough of it. I don't even know what to say. And you've got a little image of the card in the card meanings, which is nice. And she's got, I think there's an extra, no, actually there's no extra spreads, but there's just a few little things that she's written in the introduction that are different. So, and this little poem here that I love as well. So yeah, that is my latest tarot acquisition. And my always deck I actually had to think about, because I don't have a soul deck. I don't have a #1 favorite deck that I love more than all of my other decks. Every single deck that's in my collection is there for a reason, and I have got a special bond with each of my decks for the readings that I've done with them, and the experiences that I've had with them, and the reaction that I've had to the artwork in them. So yeah, I had to think about this one a little bit, and the one that I decided to go with was the Goddess Tarot by Kris Waldherr. And this one was my go-to deck for a really, really long time. Before I started getting really serious about collecting tarot, this was the only deck that I had. Well, I had a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, like the one with the plaid backing, but I never used it. I only used it for study. So this was my reading deck for ages. And then, like, I kind of, I bought the Thoth Tarot, and it wasn't until about 4 years ago that I actually really got serious about collecting tarot. But before that, this was the deck that I used all the time. And I love it for a few reasons. I absolutely love the artwork. I find it beautiful. Some people hate the borders on this deck, but they really don't bother me. I actually think it's kind of cool how the major arcana have got a different little border there, and then each of the suits have got a different border. So I really like that. I love how the Magician card is Isis. I just can't get enough of that. And you've got really beautiful depictions of the sacred feminine in here. It's a part of one of my favorite categories of decks, which is myth and story tarot decks. I just love tarot decks that depict myths and stories, that kind of add that extra layer onto your tarot knowledge. And as you're learning about the tarot, you're also learning about the myth or story, and it just kind of adds that extra dimension, and I just love that. And a lot of the deck is very closely Rider-Waite-Smith based, even though you've got each of the suits is, it follows the story of a particular goddess. It is still very closely Rider-Waite-Smith based, and I love how she's done that. However, the major arcana is very non-traditional. Each major arcana card is represented by a different goddess. And yeah, this deck will always have a special place in my heart, because it was the deck that I was using. I mean, I used to try and read with this deck, and I asked some crap questions, like back when I was going through that stage when I didn't know enough about tarot, and I was asking the tarot bad questions, and I wasn't getting very much value out of my readings, but I felt so drawn to tarot that I just persisted, and I kept trying, and I kept learning, and I kept looking into it. And then I started, watching YouTube videos, and I found the book Psychic Tarot by Melanie Howard and Nancy Antenucci. And I was using this deck, and I did one of the exercises out of that book, and it was just like this moment where it clicked, and I was like, hey, I can use tarot, like I'm actually getting value out of this reading, and this is a tool that I can use now, and it was just amazing. So for that reason, yeah, that's the love card with Venus. I just love that. Yeah, so for that reason, this deck will just always have a special place in my heart. And I've got similar stories with other decks that I own, and as I said, every deck is in my collection for a reason. But the Goddess Tarot by Kris Waldherr, I would never want to be without this deck. I just love it, and I think it's beautiful. And yeah, so thanks for watching this video. If you've done this tag as well, please just let me know so that I can watch yours. I've already watched a few other people's, and I'm really enjoying this tag. It's just a nice it's a simple way to show off a little bit of your collection, I think, and I'm really enjoying it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!